Jean-Baptiste Picquenard was a French writer. He was born in 1771 in Paris, the son of Jean-Baptiste Picquenard and Gabrielle Anne Quesnel. He left France at the age of 15 for Port-au-Prince in Haiti, but returned to France in 1794. His first and most famous novel, the 1798 Adonis, deals with the Haitian Revolution in a romanticized story of Georges Biassou, one of the leaders of the Haitian Revolution. He died in 1826. Today we shall review his 1800s Zoflora. The story begins in France with the extremely naive Justin about to embark on his final 2 years of study when he is summoned by his father and told to break them off and go to Haiti to help his sick uncle with his plantation until the latter's death. Depressed at leaving his friends, study and family behind, he is besieged on board the ship by all those who think he is in for a heavy fortune. But then he learns his uncle is long dead, and the government seizes his inheritance on a technicality. Abandoned immediately by all those who would render him service, he finds himself on the island destitute. Fortunately, he comes across Father Simon, an innkeeper who is an advocate for the slaves of the island, and aids all those who come to Haiti, but remarks only 1 in 10 doesn't end up dead in only a few years. Being given some merchandise to sell, he is to travel the island as a peddler. The first plantation he arrives at, he meets an elderly slave dying of hunger. The old man Zabiro blesses Justin for succoring him, and then tells him of his poor granddaughter Zoflora, beloved by all, who was sold forcibly to the wicked Valbona, leaving the old man alone to die. Justin receives a bit of the old man's fetish idol as well as a password should he ever fall into the hands of the marooned, i.e. runaway slaves in the forest and hills. Justin vows to help find the old man's granddaughter, but is captured by marooned slaves on the way, and brought into the presence of Boukman, their leader, who is apparently the real rebel slave leader Duty Boukman. Here Zabiro's fetish saves his hide, but he still must witness Boukman and his men eat the remains of a slain planter. Picquenard, however, clarifies their actions are caused by the incessant cruelties of the plantation owners. Justin comes to the house of Valbona where he meets his daughter Amicia. The two fall in love at once, but just then Boukman raids Valbona's plantation at Corel, threatening to burn it and kill all there if Valbona does not give Zoflora to him. Justin goes to negotiate with Boukman on Valbona's orders, but because Valbona finds out his daughter loves Justin, he decides to charge him with conspiring with Boukman and to bring about his destruction. Justin finds Zoflora hidden in a deep well, where Valbona had thrown 22 other women to their death. Justin finds out Valbona had immured many others in those caverns, and even killed here the man he had sold his own wife to, because Valbona's wife committed suicide and the Englishman demanded Valbona's daughter to settle the debt. After being nearly sentenced to death, he is freed by the letters of Valbona's late wife, who wrote to her father admitting her suicide to prevent her being sold by her own husband. But in the meantime, Valbona had run off to the Spanish side of the island with Amicia, and though Justin travels there to see her, war between Spain and France prevents her from seeing her again. After Valbona decides to betray his country and serve the Spanish, he is about to take shelter in the underground lair where he had thrown Zoflora, full of torture devices and obscene books. But he doesn't, as he and Amicia are abducted by Boukman, and the French simply blow the cavern up, so the lair is brought up only to be never used aside from the few people who fall in the lime pit. Zoflora wants to rescue Amicia from Boukman as Boukman really wants Zoflora, but Boukman gets killed before she gets there, and Valbona and Amicia are abducted by Biassou. Justin arrives just to hear of how Valbona was torn apart by his former slaves, and after a random 2-page duel for Amicia's hand out of nowhere takes her and Zoflora to America. The story at times is a bit weird in how some plot points come up and are immediately dismissed, but the read is brisk and things go ahead at a steady pace.